It's time for today's Starting Aces presented by Pella Windows and Doors. Paul Skeens versus Zach Wheeler. This is going to be one to get your popcorn for. Get to your seats. Before Wheeler got hurt last year, he and Skeens were leading the Cy Young conversation. Wheeler has been a Cy Young finalist multiple times. Will be making his 5th start of the season today. And of course, dueling the reigning Cy Young Award winner in the Pirates ace, Paul Skeens.
I'm excited.
Battle of the heavyweights.
It is. I mean, these guys are almost in every category in the top 10.
Yeah.
When you look at it.
They always are.
And they always are. And last year, I think Paul Skeens wants to prove something today. Last year in July, you know what they were saying the Cy Young was?
It was
Zach Wheeler. Yeah. The wheels got turned.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. I mean,
a lot of similarities here, also a lot of differences. Main thing here being that Paul Skeens has 2 All-Stars, but that's in 2 years.
Yes. And he was a starter both years.
Right. Wheeler's been around for a while. It's been a little bit different, but the fact that he has not won a Cy Young is crazy. He's had so many good years to be consistently good for so long, but never quite had the numbers to get the Cy Young. I'm talking 30 starts, a 2.5 ERA, a 2.7 ERA. He's done it almost every year.
And he's done it at an age most guys are starting to go backwards. Sure. He's actually taken steps forward. It's been fun to watch this guy do what he's done. I know that velocity, Steven said 94.5. Listen, he's coming off of thoracic outlet surgery. It's going to be down, but the numbers are still real. Now, Paul Skeens, what he's done since April, it's nutty.
It's crazy.
The 0 walks is the thing that's boggling our minds.
I think when you talk about Paul Skeens, it's easy to get lost in the numbers because they're so incredible, but he just does everything so well. So we want to show the difference recently has been his ability to use that splitter again, which at the beginning of the season he was having a tough time with it. His splitter's right around 94 miles an hour. The fastball's at 97 and 98, and he controls them both so well. And as a hitter, it's impossible to read. So we want to take a look at all the outs he's gotten on these pitches. Look where he gets his fastball outs compared to where he gets his splitter outs. It is a very big split. Some of those 4 seams are down, but most of those are up, and then the splitter down at the bottom.
Yeah, but even when it's down, the angle creates problems in itself. But you think about how good he is at the ball above the zone. Because of his angle, he gets more swing and miss on his fastball above the zone than anybody in baseball. He can throw it just about any count, and they're not going to hit it. How about this? No lefty has gotten a hit this year on his fastball. Not one, zero. Yes, and then split, you just mentioned it. Until Milwaukee, in the 3rd inning, he hadn't got a swing and miss on that split finger. It's remarkable how he's turned to that so often since then. He's just so good. And when you have a guy that you have to put on from a cardboard paper, you know you're really good, right?
Yeah, I mean,
come on.
I don't think people understand a .64 whip is a joke. I mean, it's ridiculous to think about the fact that you're only allowing that many base runners to reach base. It helps that he doesn't walk anybody. He never has given up many hits.
25.
So now that he's also not walking anybody, that combination right there, just nobody gets on base. It's crazy. It is insane how many 1, 2, 3 innings Paul Skeens gets. And you know what? It makes sense because he's just that good.
It makes sense, too, how efficient he's been in these back-to-back starts as well. Under 100 pitches in both of those 8-inning shutouts that he pitched, which I think is a highlight for him because when you're talking about worrying about pitch count and where this guy can be in a game, he's been giving the people in the dugout kind of, they've all been looking around, looking at themselves like, this pitch count's really good. We've got some decisions to make if he wouldn't have given up a hit.
I mean, what he did to Colorado, he abused them, right? I mean, I think there was maybe some police called after that. They went home, tucked their tail. What he did with 10 Ks, right, and getting that 8th inning, only 2 hits, he dominated that team. A major league team he made look like they were 12 years old.
You know, last year he said he wanted to be more efficient, and it actually made him less efficient.
Exactly.
This year he's just being himself, and the amount of control and consistency he has with his delivery now has made the efficiency come.
Amen.
Well, he's going to be facing Zach Wheeler today, and I was reading an article this morning on NBC Philly, and it was really interesting. JT Realmuto was talking about Zach Wheeler and why he's so good. He says he turns an uncomfortable at-bat into an intimidating at-bat because there's really no easy out for him. You've got to beat him. He will not beat himself.
He's a ninja on the mound.
He is.
I mean, you think about a guy that he's got right at the top zone, elite extension, but then he brings that 2-seamer off the plate to on the plate. He gets a ton of weak contact. Just look at the repertoire, guys. You see the balance usage after that four-seamer. The four-seamer is almost unhittable. Doesn't really matter where he throws it. He has so much induced vert. It looks like it's going to be there, and it's way above you. And now he's throwing his cutter up, which makes that even harder to hit. But the splitter's the thing I wanted to talk to you about, Steven.
Yeah,
2 years ago, that was just an okay pitch. I'll use it sometimes. Now it's become an elite weapon for him.
Yeah, second best strikeout pitch behind the fastball this year. You take a look at the fastball numbers against. That's very similar to Paul Skeens. Both of these guys have elite fastballs that have incredible ride at the top of the zone. Let's show you what these pitches look like coming at you as a hitter. The hard thing to do here with Zach Wheeler, talk about somebody who repeats their delivery.
Yeah.
There's almost nobody better. The only person I would really compare him to is Paul Skeens, honestly, when it comes to his repeatability, to how smooth he is delivering the ball. The kind of guy that looks like he's barely throwing and the ball just jumps out of his hand. And he has six different pitches now, because he is throwing that splitter a lot, that he's able to command really well. The sweeper for him gets a ton of swing and miss. He's got 4 of those 6 pitches have over a 30% whip rate.
Right.
Which is, it shows you that it's not just a one-trick pony when it comes to Zach Wheeler. And of course, we have to show this whenever you talk about Zach Wheeler. The fact that this streak is still going is crazy. 45 games in a row now that he's gone at least 5 innings pitched. I would love to see that ruined today, but chances are it's probably not.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really have a spring either.
No.
So you think the chances of that falling apart would be this year? Oh no, he said, I'm just fine. But when we go back to that graphic, that looked like he's playing laser tag.
Oh, yeah,
It's going every which direction. There's no way for either team to understand how you're going to approach these guys, because they can adjust so fast. So you have to watch the game unfold to even know what to do.
You need to find a weakness in this Phillies lineup today, whether it's offensively or whether it's with Wheeler, and honestly, it doesn't seem like Wheeler's going to be the case. So hopefully the Phillies lineup has gotten all the good at-bats out of them today. If you take a look at it here, 2 guys I think we're all getting a little tired of having to talk about this series, highlighted Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper, but for good reason, combining for a total of 11 RBIs this series. The 2 combined against Paul Skeens, though, don't forget, 1 for 9 with 4 punch-outs. So let's hope Paul can keep the punches rolling. Coming up next, how can the Pittsburgh Pirates and Paul Skeens get in one good jab on the Phillies? The guys break that down next. And Brandon Lau and his family in the jerseys. How sweet. We'll talk about that Pirates lineup with Brandon Lau coming up next.
Pirates Game Day Live is presented by Safety First Retirement, your retirement professionals ensuring your financial dreams.
For Pirates and fans like you.
Well, here's our Highmark Pirates starting lineup. Jake Mangum back in the lineup after being on the IL with a hamstring strain. Zach Wheeler has had more success than not against the guys in the Pirates lineup, but Brandon Lau is 4 for 15 all-time against him with a double, triple, and home run. So Bam Bam, on your giveaway day for your jersey, can we please get that bat going back again this afternoon? And of course, guys, Jared Triolo back in playing right field. He almost made a really nice diving stop yesterday, too. Just such an athlete in that position. So it'll be interesting to see how they compete today. But overall, what needs to happen in this game? If you had to pick a key, what would it be with our peak home IQ keys to the game?
Look, after you lose the first 2 games of a series, it's just like in boxing. If you lost the first few rounds, you don't have a way to win unless you knock him out, right? That's what we need today. We need a knockout. Pirates need to throw a haymaker punch. We got Paul Skeens on the mound. He's the perfect guy to do that to the Phillies lineup. But also, what about a few guys coming through in a big way on the offensive side, making Zach Wheeler go home with his first non-5-inning start in 45 starts?
I love it. I'm going to go the cone combo. We need a good combo in the ring today. We're going to cross. What I mean is, Paul Skeens going to cross that plate left, right, uppercut through the middle. We're going to pivot and get Zach Wheeler the slip out of there, give him the hook across the face, overhand to Harper and Schwarber, and then boom, knockout. We win. Paul Skeens on the mound, holding up the trophy. That is the cone.
Hit him with the left, hit him with the right. All right, well, that's going to do it here for us on Pirates Game Day Live. We've got a lot to fight about in this one during the game. We hope you'll tune in with us post-game. But right now, it is time for a little bit of Paul Skeens against Zach Wheeler, the heavyweight matchup we've all been waiting for. We'll see you after the main event.
It is Armed Forces Weekend, and the Pirates are hoping that they have saved their best for last. That is Cy Young winner Paul Skeens as they look to salvage a victory in this 3-game set against the Philadelphia Phillies here at PNC Park. Thanks very much for being with us. Filling in for Greg Brown, who is newly inducted into the West Shore chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. I'm Rob King with Bob Walk. Bob, Paul Skeens, last 2 outings, he's been brilliant. 16 innings pitched. He's only allowed 4 hits, has not allowed a single run.
He has been amazing. You know, if you're a fan of pitching, not just velocity or pitch shaping or any of that kind of stuff, the art of pitching, you really have to enjoy what Skeens is doing this year. Now, of course, he's got the dominant stuff. He throws real hard. You know, he can make the baseball do anything he wants, but he also knows how to get hitters out, knows where to place the baseball. That's what he's been up to.
Last 8 starts since that opening day start in New York against the Mets. Look at the numbers, unbelievable. April 13th, 3rd inning. That's the last time Paul Skeens has walked a batter, the longest streak since Ivan Nova back in 2018, and has excellent numbers against the Phillies. Still looking for his first career victory against Philadelphia, and it won't be easy today because he's going against one of the best in the business in Zach Wheeler.
It's a bad day to be a hitter, I'll tell you that. You know, Wheeler, he's been one of the big dogs in this league for a long, long time. You know, everything we say about Skeens, they've been saying this about Wheeler since he came into this league. But he's a little bit more of a grizzled veteran now, maybe not quite the stuff guy that he used to be, but he can still bring it, and he can dominate a game as good as anybody.
So it's a 3-time All-Star in Zach Wheeler. It is the reigning Cy Young champion in Paul Skeens. It is aces up as the Pirates get ready to try to win a game here this afternoon against the Philadelphia Phillies at PNC Park.
The first thing you learn is you don't get nothing that you don't earn. Humble pride I grew up on. You find out just how bad you want it.
The sun in our eyes and backs to the fences. We didn't know the odds were against us. Hit the wall, smoking and spinning. Still wasn't thinking about nothing but winning. That's the only way I know. But don't stop till everything's gone. Straight ahead and never turn around.
Don't back up, don't back down.
A full throttle, wide open. You get tired and you don't show it. Dig a little deeper when you think you can't dig no more. That's the only way I know.
Beautiful, hot, summer feeling day here at PNC Park as the Phillies and Pirates getting set to go. Game 3 of this 3-game series. Pirates looking to salvage one against the Phillies and even up this 6-game homestand at 3 games apiece before they head out on the road to take on the St. Louis Cardinals and Toronto Blue Jays. There are the Buccos getting ready to go in this rivalry weekend, taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. In case you're unused to the voice you're hearing, it is because I'm Rob King filling in for Greg Brown, who's a member of yet another Hall of Fame, Bob, the West Shore chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame.
He's just checking them off. He's climbing the ladder, going for the big one.
Yeah,
he'll be there one day.
He keeps moving on up.
Yep.
Another Hall of Fame in his fedora. And you can see it's the kids take the field day, but you'll also see some extra people out there as the Pirates are getting set to take the field. Those extra people out there with the kids are their moms, all of them breast cancer survivors on Breast Cancer Support Day. And there we go. There's Paul Skeens taking the field and getting ready for a big performance out of him. And love this gesture with the moms on Breast Cancer Support Day.
Oh, yeah, this is I always love the Sunday. This just having the kids, even when they're just out there by themselves. I think it's a fantastic idea. They've been doing it for years. What a thrill for the players. And of course, as you've pointed out, it's got to be a little bit of a thrill for the moms.
Yeah.
Being out there in the outfield. They'll all be jogging off here momentarily. Sometimes you have to kind of herd the smaller kids along.
Yeah.
That's always a
sheer joy as they run out the field. And by the way, a roster move today. There's Jake Mangum, activated off the injured list. Had a second hamstring injury in the last couple of years that he has suffered. But again, the minimum time the minimum time would have technically been yesterday, but activated, ready to go, resumed all baseball activities. And he's here because Ryan O'Hearn is headed to the injured list with a quad injury he suffered early in last night's game. So there's Jake Mangum. as we take a look at the Philadelphia Phillies lineup that Paul Skeens will be facing today. It is a lineup that has been potent, and you can see the OPSs on the team. Schwarber and Harper have been incredible. The career numbers for Harper against the Phillies, but these two guys have been unbelievable in the month of May. Bohm at third base. Marsh is among the leading hitters in all of baseball. Garcia, Stott, Realmuto, and Justin Crawford, the fine young rookie player. And there is Paul Skeens in the numbers he's put up.
Yep, brought to you by Car Shield. You see that the ERA at 198. You saw what it was in our open for you golfers out there. If he had a breakfast ball, it would be down almost an even 1 right now, because that first start kind of messed him up a little bit. Didn't get any innings, got some earned runs. But it's just been phenomenal. I mean, he's the first 2 years he's been in this league, he's been in the ones. And here he is, you know, a quarter of the way through this season in the ones again. Remarkable start to what's going to be a remarkable career.
And getting ready to go, facing Trey Turner, veteran shortstop, who digs in. There's Schwarber on deck, and he has been an issue for all pitchers in the National League over the last month, and more particularly over the last couple of weeks. First pitch of the game.
No, he threw a strike. That was a surprise.
Has not walked a batter since the 3rd inning of his start on April 13th. There's the 0-1. And we saw the last time out, and we've seen this throughout his career. Paul able to flip the script on the types of pitches he's using throughout the course of a game. And sweeper is wide.
Yeah, he'll work with what he thinks he needs to. It's not like he's going to go out there and throw everything he has all the time. And I think a lot of guys that have a multitude of pitches, that have good command of a multitude, right? We'll put it that way. They'll settle in on 2, maybe 3 pitches that seems to be working against any particular lineup on a day, and that's what they'll go with. And I think Skeens will do that also. He'll maybe make a 3rd time through a lineup, make a little change.
2-2 just misses.
That was a changeup.
And here's the 3-2. That's fouled away.
The 3-2 splitter.
You know, the thing is, and you've alluded to this, the stuff is so good. If he was just a thrower, he'd be effective.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be really good.
Yeah, like a 2.5 ERA.
Here's a 3-2. Fouled away again. Turner battling.
It should be a very interesting game for baseball fans that like to see good pitching. 2 real good ones going at each other today.
On the 8th pitch of the at-bat, 4-seamer, and he gets Turner to chase in strikeout number 1 on batter number 1 for Paul Skeens.
Now, a lot of pitchers, you know, you're really thinking, okay, he's going to throw me a fastball here. You might take that pitch because you're looking fastball. You don't know what he's going to throw, so you start the bat thinking, is this a breaking ball? Because it could break into the strike zone. Not fastball. I'm late. Strike 3.
And here's a matchup I think a lot of fans have been looking forward to today. Skeens and Schwarber. Front hip sinker gets strike 1. This one hit fouled on the right field line, had him out in front. And Bob, what are today's keys to the game presented by your Western PA Buick dealers?
Well, pretty simple. Got to win the pitching duel, but and then to do that, no mental mistakes by the team. Base running mistakes, you can't be making any of those. Mental mistakes on defense. I know that, you know, errors are part of the game. You can have that, but don't throw to a base you're not supposed to. That sort of thing. This game could hinge on plays like that if both these pitchers are on today. So you almost have to, either team has to play a perfect game to win.
Here's the 1-2. Just gets a piece of the changeup.
Well, look at just the location. Right on the outside corner, moving away from him. Barely just ticked it with the end of the bat.
And the 1-2 again. And he gets him with a changeup.
Same spot, same pitch.
Supermo here.
I've used this so much that I got to come up with something else. But it's like you're playing a video game when he's out there. You know, like
Right.
Another, because in a video game, you're putting pitch in a certain spot. You know,
Right.
That's what he's doing.
And here's Harper, and if Schwarber's trouble, Harper is double trouble. Batting immediately behind him in the lineup.
First guy that ever told me that video game thing was Spanky. I got a challenge.
That's right.
And the ABS challenge powered by ABS is powered by T-Mobile, and he's going to get the strike.
Call on the field is confirmed. Philly has one challenge remaining.
Philly's down one challenge. That was a good 1/16 of an inch inside the strike zone there, Bob.
I asked Spanky one time about Draybeck. What's it like to catch him? And he goes, when he's on, he says, it's like playing a video game.
Yeah.
I just put down whatever I want, put the glove there, and that's where the ball's going to go.
Here's the 1-1. So he's gone inside with 2 sinkers at 98. Here's the 1-1. Inside again, another elevated sinker. Levin Furniture and Mattress strike zone says once again we're approximating 1/16 of an inch. That's a strike, and here's the 1-2. Crowd beginning to show appreciation for Paul Skeens. This one outside changeup. Now 2-2.
He's trying to throw that ball that he struck out Schwarber with. Just had it drift a little too far away.
Come back inside. Maybe the changeup again. Let's see what he does here. Well, they go with a sweeper and strike out the side. Paul Skeens gets Turner, Schwarber, and Harper. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Pittsburgh. And Paul Skeens strikes out the side to begin this game against the Philadelphia Phillies, and Pirates ready to go here. Here's a look at their starting lineup, and it's Cruz, Lau, Reynolds with a 5-game hitting streak, followed by Gonzalez in the cleanup spot. He's 4th in the National League in hitting. Horwitz batting .325 with a .938 OPS this month, and you can see his last 11 games even better. Then it's Griffin with a 4-game hitting streak, Mangum, Triolo, and Henry Davis facing Zach Wheeler.
Wheeler's numbers, opposition just hitting .195 off of him. Last time out, he pitched into the 8th inning, gave up just 1 run to the Red Sox. So he's where he wants to be. That's his normal numbers.
Here's the 0-1 inside. So talking to the guys from the Phillies before the game, and said he's just maybe the velocity down just a tick. Of course, he is 36 years old.
Yeah.
3-time All-Star.
Yeah, he's not as overpowering as he used to be, but you know, I think when guys are that good for so long, they've learned enough to where, oh, I've lost 2 miles an hour off my fastball. It's not going to affect them. They're still going to get the outs they've always got.
That was grounded to the first side. It'll be taken unassisted for the out. By the way, still had 98 miles an hour or 97 miles an hour. And here's Brandon Lau on his jersey giveaway day earlier today. So yeah, these are the Brandon Lau. Oh, come on, man. These kids, Emmett and Bella.
It's a great looking jersey, isn't it?
Oh, look at that. He's already had a big impact in the community and on the field, of course, for the Pirates as well.
Certainly on the field.
Yeah.
31 RBIs and 12 home runs.
And again, we're talking about Wheeler. Well, the arm, maybe the velocity's down a tick. That's 97 on the outside corner. It's still pretty good.
Right. What about Skeens just throwing? But Wheeler, I mean, he could go to triple digits. probably any time he wanted not too long ago. Just like Skeens. Skeens throws 97, 98 most of the time, but I think if you told him you can't throw hard anymore, he'd go out there and he'd put up some hundreds and 101s. It's just that they know what's important, and flashing 100 mile an hour on the scoreboard is not their job. It's getting outs.
And that's 2 quick outs for Wheeler. As we take a look at the Phillies defense, Real Muto at catcher, Harper, Stott, Turner, and Bohm. Around the infield, Marsh, Crawford, and Garcia. Out right field, Real Muto doing the catching. Brandon Marsh has been a great story for the Phillies, the way he's swinging the bat early on this season. Here's Brian Reynolds, 5-game hitting streak on the line.
And with Marsh hitting the way he is, and then of course Harper and Schwarber, and those are 3 lefties that they got in there all the time. That it makes it very tough on right-handers to get through their lineup.
2-0 down to Reynolds. And here's the 2-0 offering. 3-0. Expecting a tremendous pitcher's duel today, so any base runner for either team a positive. Here's a 3-0. Reynolds giving the green light, fouls it away. Paul Skeens, reigning NL Cy Young winner. And the 3-1. 3-2. That went up to 98 miles an hour. In case you're wondering, by the way, pretty steady breeze seems to be blowing right to left across the stadium. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Reynolds. Back, Wheeler tosses over to first to Harper, and it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the first as we head now to the second in a scoreless game. Score here as we get set for the second inning at PNC Park, the 3rd game of the 3-game set between the Pirates and the Phillies. Here's your Pirates starting defense presented by Levin Furniture and Mattress, with Davis doing the catching, Horwitz, Lau, Griffin, and Gonzalez in the outfield. It's Reynolds, Mangum, and Triolo getting another start out in right field. First pitch of the second inning is grounded sharply to short. Griffin there over across the diamond, and Bohm is a quick out on 1 pitch here in the second inning.
I like that. That makes up for Turner. He had to work on Turner, throw a lot of pitches. So you got to do something to make up for it.
I was wondering about that. Is the first batter of the game, I mean, you're trying to settle in a little bit. You're throwing a lot of pitches like that. Does that take more out of you than it would later in the game, or is it easier actually in that first?
Well, it's probably easier,
okay,
but it's probably more aggravating too.
Here's Marsh now. Steps in as the 3rd leading hitter in the National League with a .331 average. Just inside. Really a pleasant surprise for the Phillies thus far. Kind of like Vargas out in Arizona. Just low, 2-0.
He's him looking around there like, oh, 2-0. He didn't like 2-0. Mad at himself.
Uh-oh. 3-0. So Wheeler go to 3-0 on Reynolds in the bottom of the first. Marsh taking all the way. Remember, Reynolds had the green light on his 3-0 and fouled it away. Here's the 3-1.
You know, I believe that nowadays with the emphasis put on trying to keep everybody, you know, in the double digits. They don't want them to get up over 100 pitches. Keep everybody down, you know, 85, 95 area. That is one weapon that you use against guys like Wheeler and Skeens to try and get them out. Hard to knock them out with base hits and runs.
Right.
But if you can have some long innings, drive that pitch count up, maybe you steal an inning away from one of them for later in the ball game and get into the bullpen a little earlier than you would otherwise.
Yeah, it's one of the things the Pirates offense has been very good at, drawing all the walks that they've drawn this year. 3-2 again, and he gets him looking for his 4th strikeout in his 5th batter faced.
Now Marsh, I think, disagree with that. Probably wants to challenge it, but with just one challenge left, he doesn't want to burn it here in the 2nd inning of the game. And then they would have, obviously,
looked like he was
0.
wrong. Looked like he was wrong anyway. Bob.
Yeah, it was a strike. But I mean, if this was the 8th inning, I guarantee he'd have challenged that. The way he reacted to it, he thought it was definitely a ball.
And here's pitch to Garcia. Did he offer? He did. It is time now for our Penn West University stat of the day. The Major League Baseball leaders in strikeout to walk ratio. That's a pretty good list. And look who's at the top. DeGrom, Skubal, Miller.
Some decent guys.
He hits him here. I don't know whether that got him in the armor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got hit on the guard. Probably didn't feel good, but a heck of a lot better than if he wasn't wearing that.
Yes, I would not want to do a before and after experiment on that, Bob. Let's take your word for it that's probably a little better with that arm guard on. So first base runner of the day, that brings Stott to the plate.
I've been hit above that elbow. I know what it feels like. It's not pleasant.
Right down the middle. See the numbers for Stott, 216 hitter. Much of a lead for Garcia over at first. And this ball is lifted out of play. Foul, and it'll be 0-2 now to Stott. Beginning to clap, hoping for a 5th strikeout. Stott takes that changeup away. Now 1-2. Pitch number 32 for Paul Skeens, and that is flied out to left field, and Reynolds there makes the grab. And the Phillies are retired in the 2nd, heading to the bottom of the 2nd, still scoreless. Play ball weekend coming up on June 5th through the 7th, encouraging youth everywhere to get out and play. You can visit playball.org to register for a free event near you today. First batter is Nick Gonzalez, 4th in the National League with his .320 batting average. Wheeler jams him and took off the end of the bat, gets a quick out, unassisted to Harper over at first base.
I'm sure that we talked about aggravating. How aggravating is that for a hitter?
It hit
something
the
like
knob,
that off
Bob.
the knob of the bat, and it rolls into fair territory.
Wow. We had the hit by pitch a couple days ago on Connor Griffin. It was called back because it hit the knob as well. There's Horwitz, and he takes strike 1 in the outside corner. There's Spencer's numbers, 806 OPS for Spencer Horwitz. That chases him off the plate inside. 1-1.
Against right-handed pitching, Horwitz is a very solid hitter. Not a huge power threat, but he does have some pop in his bat. He'll fill the place up with some line drives.
You talk about pitch sequencing, goes inside a couple times and throws that cutter that looks like it's going to be out over and zips in toward the handle of the bat. Now 1-2. Assuming Spencer there stepping out to try to figure out what is this guy going to throw me here, huh? Here's the 1-2. Fouled away.
You better just have an approach and not be worried about what he's going to throw you.
Okay.
Have some kind of an approach to where you can cover most of it and go with that. The same thing with Skeens. Guys like this, you start trying to guess with them, you're just going to be in trouble.
He gets him with the curveball down below the zone. For Wheeler, his second strikeout. Oh, I mean, that just looks like a strike all the way. What a yikes! That is just nasty, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect. You think, well, you know, it's not a strike. But it's a perfect location for a two-strike curveball, and look how sharply it broke. It's, you know, the old cliche from probably 100 years ago that rolled off a table.
Right.
That's the real good curveballs. That's what they're talking about. It's going, it's coming in here straight, and then like it rolled off a table. Went right to the ground.
1-0 to Griffin, swings through it, 1-1. And by the way, the fans at home wondering, well, why'd you swing at that pitch if it's out of the strike zone? Be the same fans yelling at you if it caught the strike zone and you struck out with your bat on your shoulder.
Yeah.
We see Griffin missing, swinging through that one. And that hit sharply down the third base line. Bohm, who's been phenomenal over at third base in this series, able to prevent it from being a double, but it is the first base hit of the game for either team.
That's a big play with 2 outs. Keep it a single.
Now I guess the question here with Mangum up, do you think about sending Griffin at any point?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't think you like send him, but you definitely allow him to have the green light.
Okay. 0-1 here to Mangum, coming off the injured list. His numbers in 30 games, our Xfinity batting stats.
And yeah, you want to get to second base. That's why that play by Bohm was so important.
Now swung on and missed, and Bohm, by the way, was in on the grass to defend against the possible bunt by Mangum. Now he moves back to normal depth at third base.
And Mangum gets a lot of infield hits too. Chop the ball and beat it out. You can't get too deep. I mean, even Turner, the shortstop, is in close.
And he gets him on the 0-2, third strikeout. We head now to the top of the third. Big Time Bats is releasing the Paul Skeens Cy Young collection with historic deep cut bats, chrome bats, and baseballs. Go to BigTimeBats.com. Real Muto, the batter. Skeens has recorded 6 outs, 4 of them by strikeout. First pitch to the veteran catcher. Taken for strike 1. How many times have we put up that Levin Furniture and Mattress strike zone and seen pitches just right on the edge there from Skeens? Here's the 0-1. Just inside. Is it me or is he attacking a lot of hitters inside here early on, Bob?
Probably more than normal. He's maybe trying to kind of set a little tone with the fastball. Because that's one thing that he doesn't do as often as I think he would with the stuff he has, is attack inside, especially to right-hand hitters. But you're right, he's throwing it in there today.
Well, we've seen
another one right here.
Yeah.
Right on the edge.
And now, you know, we're playing along here. Now you got him inside. Do you throw a sweeper away that he waves at? Do you come back inside again? Or
So that's the thing with Skeens and pitchers like him.
Or do you throw the changeup on the outside corner?
You can't guess. You don't know. Don't try to guess. Again, rely on your approach, your game plan when you get up there of what you're going to try and do.
Changeup, such a good pitch. 89 miles an hour. When I was growing up, that used to be a major league fastball. Not elite, but it used to be guys that have 89 mile an hour fastballs.
Well, the 89 used to be really like nowadays. Everything's out of the hand now.
Right.
So that changeup was 89 out of the hand. Halfway at home, it was probably about
85?
85, 80,
okay.
Something like that. Which is still a pretty firm changeup.
Right. So the old radar guns.
They picked, yeah, that's
right.
That was the difference. But you know, you'd have fast guns and slow guns.
Right.
It was how close to home plate were they picking up the baseball. That was the difference in the radar guns, and why some were a little bit faster than the others. Whereas the technology nowadays is the velocities are out of the hand right off the bat. You got an exit velocity. You know exactly how fast the ball's coming off the bat. You know how fast everybody is running out there. It's amazing what is tracked.
Now, third time Skeens has gone to 3 balls on a batter. The second time he's gone to 3-0 on a batter. Crawford takes strike 1 in the outside corner.
It's like he's slicing onions all day long. Just right in half. Nobody's crying though except the hitters.
Another one dotted up. By the way, as we showed you earlier, that Ivan Nova had 130 consecutive batters without issuing a walk, and Paul Skeens surpassed that at 131. One of the longest streaks in Pirates history. Here's a 3-2 pitch. That ball is lined toward Reynolds, and he settles under it, makes the grab, and we head to the bottom of the third as we expected. Well, not quite yet. Let's get one more batter out, huh? I was jumping the gun there.
That's all right.
I got a little ahead of myself there.
I know. I was going to let you go.
All right, let's get Turner here, and then we can head to the.
That's right.
And then we could head to the bottom of the third. 43 pitches for Skeens.
A nice quick out here would be.
Yep.
Right along what you were trying to do. Get him in the dugout. Keep that pitch count under control.
Yeah, I kind of look at about 15 pitches an inning. Is that about?
Yeah, I think the league average is probably 17, but that's probably higher than you'd like.
Right. I mean, I said if you want to work through 6, 7, 8 innings.
Yeah, you want to keep it down.
15-ish.
And it's not like. It's not going to go like that. You're going to throw 22, but then you want an inning where you throw 12.
Right.
You know, sometimes you can even, if things really go right, you'll have that rare single-digit inning where it's almost like now you have a free extra inning at the end of the game. Pitch count-wise.
Right.
Then the hitters have to cooperate, too. They'll let you have that inning.
Uh-huh. Well, if they don't, the fewest you can throw is 9, right? If they just stood there with their bats on their shoulders and didn't swing.
Yep.
Here's the 0-2. Did he? He did not. No.
No, he didn't.
Good call. Here is the 1-2. 2-2. Great shot of Paul Skeens. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Just fouled away. Turner remains alive. A long at bat in the first inning. Turner did to start the game. Here's the 2-2. Fly Fly ball to left, and Reynolds settling underneath. And now let's head to the bottom of the third in a scoreless game between the Pirates and Phillies.
Just a beautiful day on the North Shore where the Phillies and the Pirates are scoreless, and we wanted to say congratulations to a member of the S&P family who is spending the weekend in Florida for a very special reason. Our Haley Hunter and her longtime boyfriend Gage officially tying the knot Saturday night with about 70 friends and family members in attendance. So very happy for Haley, her parents Susan and Tim, and everyone involved. Haley will be back on the Pirates broadcasts on the next homestand, so you guys can congratulate her in person. So just beautiful day, beautiful photos, awesome.
Yep, thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate it. Congratulations to Haley and Gage. Fantastic. Always great news. By the way, congratulations to Greg Brown too, inducted into the West Shore chapter. That
we said something earlier, but not really got deep into it. But yeah, Greg is not here with us today. He's accepting the honor, and we'll be back in time to go on the road trip.
Yep. Triolo down on strikes. That is the fourth punch out for Wheeler. Yeah, congratulations to Haley and Gage. Be nice to see Haley back, of course, as always, but congratulations to them. A special day. Great addition to Sportsnet Pittsburgh is Haley, so congratulations to them, and congratulations to Greg Brown. Henry Davis steps to the dish. Been only one hit in this game. That was the Connor Griffin grounder down to third base line. See Henry's numbers there, presented by Xfinity. Here's the 0-1. And hit high up into the air. And that will be out number 2. Stott settles under
giving
that.
us the game we thought we were going to see, aren't
Yeah,
they?
that's right. I really enjoy games like this. I love great pitching, and we're seeing 2 great pitchers. And you get a base runner now, and you got to start thinking about stealing or bunting, depending on the count, and or one swing changing things. O'Neill Cruz can certainly provide that. Here's the 1-0, or count 1-0. I beg your pardon.
You know, I like watching. Somebody asked me this the other day. I like watching, pitchers that are pitchers when they're pitching and doing this and that. But I certainly love watching it when you combine that type of pitching with guys that have stuff, power, and that's the rare combination you don't see much. And we have 2 guys here today pitching against each other that are that type of pitcher. That, yeah, they have the great arms, they have the great stuff, but they're also at the same time they're pitchers.
Here's the 2-1 to Cruz.
And they have the
3-1.
They got the plaques to prove it.
Yeah, I mean, Wheeler. I was talking about it with my wife Megan before I came in today. If this guy's healthy, we're looking at his career in a totally different way. I mean, he might be on a track to Cooperstown. I mean, he's that good of a pitcher when he's healthy and when he's on. Here's the 3-1, fouled away by Cruz, and obviously we're all witnessing the start Paul Skeens is having to his career.
Also, I noticed earlier that if you look at Wheeler very closely when he's out there, the label on his glove is a nice shiny gold. He's also a gold glove winner.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, he is very good. Guys, especially nowadays, it gets slowed down a little bit, career number wise, because of the injuries, but doesn't take anything away from who they are.
On to the 4th.
Yes, it's all about the red, white, and blue on Armed Forces Weekend here at PNC Park. The Pirates and the Phillies scoreless as we head to the 4th. Paul Skeens getting ready to face Kyle Schwarber and eventually Bryce Harper as well. This comes just a couple months after he teamed up with them on Team USA at the World Baseball Classic. Paul had a chance to tell me that it was really cool and special to get a chance to play with him because he got a chance to peek behind the curtain to see how they do what they do, and they, of course, do so well. But at the same time, you told me, I'm also looking forward to facing them today. Both Schwarber and Harper, with a combined 4 strikeouts against Paul entering today, they added to that total in their first at-bat. Rob?
Dan, thank you very much. Looks like he's going to get Schwarber here again. Pop up to Gonzalez, who wanders back into short left field to make the grab, so gets him out. And I think it's fun when you talk about pitchers. Even sometimes they'll talk about some of their own teammates. Hey, if I was on another team, this is how I would attack so-and-so. Guys who are always thinking that way. I get the sense that Paul is always kind of watching and thinking, well, how would I attack him, even when he's his teammate on Team USA?
It is, I think, it's kind of odd that when you're like thrown into a situation where you're getting to know some of the other players, on other teams, because I think it's an advantage that they don't know anything about you. So, how do you like really kind of pick their brains without them learning anything about you? That's because it's
right.
If you find out even like what's their character like, things like that, it can help you out pitching to them. I know Bob Gibson used to talk about this a lot when he was a pitch coach when I was down in Atlanta, about not letting the other hitters know who you are. Nothing about you, not about your, how you think, not knowing anything. Don't talk to them. He wanted you to be a mystery to them. Now they can look and see your pitches and see what you throw, but he don't want you to know them. And I think there's some value of that both ways. And the fact that you know something about the hitters is who they are, how they work out, what they think about during a game, that's a plus for you.
And Skeens trying to have one of those quick innings here.
I've talked about this a couple of times with the experience that I had with Andre Dawson, that I was always very intimidated. I think intimidation was part of his game. He would stand up there with that scowl and look out at you, and this big, mean-looking guy would, and then I got to talk to him one day, and afterwards I'm thinking, what a teddy bear this guy is. He's just like the nicest man I've ever spoken with. And the next time I had to face him, all that intimidation, all that was gone. I almost laughed when I looked in and saw him like scowling at me. So that's kind of what I'm talking about a little bit, when you don't want them to know you.
And here's the 3-2 to Bohm. And this ball is hit hard to right center field. Mangum in pursuit and can't make the grab. And Bohm into second with the first base hit for the Phillies. Comes with 2 out here in the 4th.
I kind of thought Triolo was going to catch that.
Right, it kept peeling away toward Triolo, and
well, if Mangum calls it, he's the center fielder. You have to peel away. Watching the replay, I think Triolo, he peeled away very early on that. Just trying to kind of back up whatever Mangum's move was.
Looked like it was almost perfectly placed between them.
But off the right-hander's bat, those balls are always, going away from the center fielder toward the corner guy. Off, same way out in left center.
There's the 1-0, and this one's lifted toward Brian Reynolds, who gets his 4th putout already. 4 fly balls to Reynolds, and scoreless as we head to the bottom of the 4th. And welcome to the Toyota RAV 4th inning. Big, beautiful crowd at this big, beautiful ballpark, watching a big, beautiful pitcher's duel, as we suspected, between Paul Skeens and Zach Wheeler, who toes the rubber here to begin this bottom of the fourth, facing Brandon Lau. Lau struck out his first time up.
Yeah, each team just one base hit so far.
The wind, which was blowing out to left, seems to have mostly died down. Just a little bit of a breeze. And here's Lau lashing one up the middle. Ooh, center fielder broke in and had to go back out again and makes the grab.
Definitely.
That was Crawford out there, and Crawford thought it was going to come in front of it and almost got over his head.
Yeah, he misjudged it. You know, Lau's not like the biggest guy in the world.
No.
And I think people just don't realize how far he can hit a ball. Look at the stat sheet. He's got 12. He's got a dozen home runs.
By the way, there's that breeze picking up again. Yeah, it is amazing, and you know, you think of some golfers aren't very big and they can just hit the ball a mile, just timing and bat speed, or
yeah.
club head speed or whatever it is. One to Reynolds, who was 3-0 his first time up before he grounded back to Wheeler. Wheeler fought back on him to a full count. Saws him off inside. Well, if you like pitching, you've come to the right spot. So, fresh set of baseballs delivered, and now Reynolds can dig back in on a 1-2 count. See the vast crowd behind Reynolds. With the delivery, and it is fouled off into the dirt. So Rio Muto tried to buy that as a strikeout.
Can't really do that anymore. Even if you get the call, everything's on videotape.
Yeah.
Well, not on tape. It's on some kind of hard drive or something, I guess.
Hard drive, yeah. Home plate umpire Dexter Kelly not fooled by that attempt. Here's the 1-2. This ball hit hard to center field, but there's Crawford again. So 2 line drives to center field, but both right at Crawford. So our next homestand got some Zambelli fireworks drone show. How about that? So Friday, May 29th against the Twins, 6:45. Fans can stay after the game for an America 250 theme Zambelli drone show presented by AHN. Get tickets at pirates.com/drone show. We celebrate 250 years in our nation's great history. I remember the bicentennial in '76 as a kid being big news everywhere.
Oh, yeah, that's huge. I remember the parade. That was my last 4th of July before I started playing professional baseball. This was my last 4th of July. I was actually at home.
Right.
And
yeah.
Me and my sister, my brother, and my uncle, we snuck into the parade. He was a long haul truck driver, so he had this big Peterbilt.
Oh, you mean snuck in? I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, we were
in the parade.
We were watching the parade.
Say tough town if you don't get to watch the parade. You snuck into the parade itself. Okay. All right, I got it.
He had his truck all like American flags all over it and stuff, and all these things. Just the tractor part of it, not the trailer, obviously. And there was a break, and waiting for the next float or whatever to come. He just fired that baby up and pulled on out. And we were in the parade.
There's Old Glory. Here's the 2-2. Grounded toward Bohm. Bohm is up. Sidearms over to first. And another 1-2-3 inning as we head to the 5th in a scoreless game. Oh, great day to be hanging out at the ballpark, having fun. Scoreless game as we move to the top of the 5th. Time now for our Penn West University Educating You. And Paul Skeens working on a scoreless inning streak of 20 innings. That is a career high for Paul. First pitch is outside, and that is the longest streak for a Pirates starter since Trevor Williams pitched 20 2/3 scoreless back in 2018. Is now 2-0 as he backs Garcia off the plate.
Throwing inside to the righties today.
And then we've seen him also throwing that front door sinker to the lefties too. So just seems to be doing a lot of pounding inside, aggressive pitching. We've seen this. We've seen him throw 70%, say, four-seam fastballs the first time or two through the order, and then all of a sudden it's the sweeper and the slider and the change-up, something different. Keep the hitters off balance. Here's the 2-0 to Garcia. Out straight back.
And he'll be watching to see if the hitters are doing anything different as this game goes along that he'll have to react to and change.
To Garcia did not offer. His first place umpire Doug Eddings, the crew chief. So now a 3-1. Fifth time Paul has had 3 balls on a batter today. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and his first walk since the 3rd inning of April 13th. That is a long stretch.
Yep. Missed by quite a bit. Was
lead
anything you could challenge or
no.
like that? Nobody out. A good time
Stott.
for a walk.
No, right. And runner going, and Stott fouls it off, or did he? No, let's see. The umpire Dexter Kelly's going to come out and talk things over. Right? Yeah, he is going to send Garcia back to first.
Going to call this a foul ball.
Did he get that pop?
I think he got the top of it just barely, enough to deflect it downward. Watch the ball. Does it change direction just a little bit? Right there. See how it started to go down a little bit more?
Okay.
I mean, he caught a thread. That's what he did.
And now a 0-2 count. Garcia, by the way, 1 stolen base in the season.
And the umpire can't see that. He's just going by what he heard. You hear a little double tick. Tells you it hit something.
Here's the 0-2. Garcia not going in. Skeens picks up the strikeout of Stott. That is his 6th strikeout of the game. And that strikeout was presented by Coppers, protecting what matters, preserving the future. Six for Paul as he gets set to face Real Muto now. Struck him out in the 3rd inning in his first at bat.
There's inside again. That time was a splitter though, but it's still, it's 94 out of the hand, so that's
Major League fastball.
You'll see guys not throw fastballs that fast. And it's inside off the plate. I think it almost works like a fastball does when he throws that splitter in there. The splitter has more movement to it also.
1-1. You know, they were calling that the splinker, right? And when he first came up.
Yeah. I mean, it says splitter on the scoreboard, so I always go with
that. Especially initially, I don't think I've ever seen him more unhittable looking. 94 to 96 and dropping like a changeup with fastball type velocity. Now it's 2-1. And he hasn't used it quite as much in the last couple of years.
He went a while without throwing it. And he pulled it out, I think, toward the end of his last start. He started throwing it more. At least I started noticing it more.
Here's the 2-2 foul the way he was able to struggle to a Cy Young award without that splitter, Bob. They somehow managed to muddle through.
I don't, it's not like he didn't have it. He just didn't want to throw it for whatever reason.
He's thrown about a half a dozen of those pitches today. Now 2-2.
He's got a real good knuckleball that nobody knows about yet. We'll be bringing that out a couple of years from now.
And the 2-2 is inside. Now 3-2. There is the pitch usage and the splitter being used 11% of the time, leading with the fastball. Again, you combine those two fastballs, a four-seamer and the sinker, throwing about 60%. Imagine Garcia will be running on the 3-2. He is. Here's the pitch, and it's lifted out to left field. And Garcia, off on the hit on the pitch, is able to scurry to third base. They're now runners on the corners, and just one out here in this fifth inning. So that 3-2 count, that works against him there because he's able to get to third. No way he gets to third on this otherwise.
No, not at all. You run it, you can make it in there. Nice little job of hitting. That was a well-positioned pitch. Was that a curveball or a sweeper? Breaking. It was a breaking pitch, but it was down and away in the strike zone. And Real Muto just kind of reached out there and poked it out toward left field.
Here's a sweeper. Here's the Crawford. Oh, diving play by Griffin across the diamond. What a gem! A run comes in, but what a play by Connor Griffin.
How about the arm? The combination of velocity and accuracy after sliding on your belly. Pow, right there.
And the other thing was how quickly he got up. I remember talking to Mads about Ozzie Smith once. He said, well, I could dive like Ozzie. I just couldn't get up that quickly, you know. And Griffin
bounce up like you're made of rubber.
6'4" and able to just pop to his feet and get Crawford, who runs pretty well across the diamond at first. What a play by Connor Griffin.
A lot of guys, they dive like that. They can get up, but they don't really do much because they swallow their tongue. They can't breathe. Knock all the air out of you.
2-0 again now to Trey Turner. First run across. Griffin, we have seen him turn in some absolute gems recently here for the Pirates at shortstop. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And it's a sweeper in there to make it 2-1.
That might be the best one because of everything that was going on there. I mean, as he's sliding through the dirt, I think he's computing what he wants to do with the ball.
Right. And there's a single to right field, and they're going to send the runner. Throw by Triolo to the plate and sliding in safely. Second run here for the Phillies as they go up. Real Muto scores on that single, and now it is 2-0 Philadelphia.
It was putting a lucky spot there, just kind of a firm 3, maybe almost a 4 hopper, but it's down that line. I'm surprised that that was that close when that ball was first hit. I thought, well, just keep him from getting a second.
Now Schwarber up, the major league leader in home runs with 20. Be careful here.
And Turner hits a ball down that line, you think double.
Mm-hmm. Skeens now. The 0-1 throws over to first, and you talk about trying to time up a pitcher or what have you. Turner, we talked about the first long at bat. The second at bat was long. 19 pitches he's seen out of the 81 that Paul Skeens has thrown in this game, and found one he liked there and drove in a run. Here's the 0-1 to Schwarber. 1-1. Stating the obvious here, we don't want to give up any more here. Schwarber obviously a threat with that bat in his hands and the way he's been swinging it lately. Takes off the plate and the way Wheeler's been going. Harper on deck. Here's the 2-1. Swings through it. 2-2.
It's almost like the breaking ball, went up.
Right. A frisbee or something.
Yeah. It didn't have much vertical drop, that's for sure, for a breaking pitch.
Here's a 2-2 to Schwarber. Struck him out, but the Phillies score twice as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Phillies enjoying a 2-0 lead. Pirates baseball on SNP is presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. And by Barrel Automotive, driven to be better. Zach Wheeler's only faced one over the minimum as Spencer Horwitz digs in here and takes strike one to begin this bottom of the 5th inning. Been a long time since the Pirates scored extra innings of the game on Friday night. Blanked yesterday by Christopher Sanchez, and now looking for their first run against Zach Wheeler. Really haven't had anything going. Just the single with 2 outs by Griffin in the bottom of the 2nd. That has been it. Wheeler has retired everybody else he's faced today. Here's the 0-1. Spencer Horwitz lashes one to right field. Second hit of the game for the Pirates. Leadoff man aboard for the first time today.
Horwitz, I mean, he's one of the hitters in the lineup. You know he's going to have a good at bat and get some good swings. Won't chase too much. He's got more walks than strikeouts. So he's on board with nobody out. Very similar to what the Phillies did in the top half of the inning.
Here's Griffin sawed off here. And they're going to get the lead runner, Horwitz, on the 6-4 putout. Want to let you know the next homestand Sunday, May 31st against the Twins at 1:35. All kids 14 and under take home a pack of Pirates trading cards thanks to number 1 Cochran. Get tickets at pirates.com/family fun days. Jake Mangum up, struck out in his first at bat. Griffin not going. Mangum fouls it off to the left side.
They didn't run when there was 2 outs. And that's when I really thought he'd go ahead and try to steal, but you know, when you have a dominant guy out there like Wheeler, I don't think you can just lay back. You gotta do a little something.
Not going here and fouled off again.
And I'd like to see him take off. You know, starting a runner on a 3-2 pitch was important for the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
There's 1 out when they did that.
Right.
Yeah. And they end up going 1st and 3rd on it. So they got the base hit.
Oh, 2 to Mangum. Put it away. Going this time, and here's a throw down to second, and Griffin is out. I don't know if he got in there originally and overslid it, or whether they got him on the initial throw by Rio Muto, who of course is known for this sort of thing.
And he took a little bit of time to look behind him.
First time in his career he's been caught.
A low breaking ball. Yeah, I'm not sure if they got him on the first tag. That was very close, but when he came off the bag at the second time, then it was all over.
First time in his major league career he's been caught stealing, had been 10 for 10.
Yeah, that tag on his foot might have been the one that got him out. But he couldn't. he couldn't stay on the bag with his hand. Too much momentum.
Now Mangum draws the walk. Also a threat to steal. Now here's a message from Levin Furniture and Mattress.
Get the guaranteed lowest mattress prices for life at Levin.
Trillo takes inside. Paul Skeens stalking up and down the Pirates dugout.
He wants to get back out there. He's got his glove in his hand.
Trillo shoots one down the right field line, but foul into the netting down there. And Mangum, who had rounded second, will trot back to first. Counts at 1-1. Trillo takes, now 1-2. Not a big lead for Mangum at first. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Grounded foul.
Kind of thought Mangum would take a shot at second. As you said, he certainly is a base stealer.
5 stolen bases. He had part-time player, so 5 stolen bases for Mangum.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Third on the Pirates behind Cruz and Griffin. Staying put as Trillo. They talk about hitting from foul pole to foul pole. He's fouling off from outside of foul pole to outside of foul pole right now. Well, if you can split a gap here, you could potentially score Mangum from first. Here's the 1-2. Pop back. Muto looking up, and that will just find its way into the Phillies dugout.
I can't remember who the catcher was we had years ago. That same spot. You remember he reached and made the catch and then flipped it.
Tony Sanchez.
All the way down. Oh, that's right. Tony Sanchez down to his back. And that spot right there, it's a long ways down.
No, yes. Mangum bluffing, and now stay put, and 1-1 or 1-2 is inside 2-2. I don't know if Mangum was bluffing or was he going to go?
Time him up.
Okay.
I think when he jumped off, if he had saw that leg kick come up, he'd have kept going. I believe. He's just trying to get a real good jump. And when he held the ball, then that made him stop.
Here's the 2-2 not going, and now Trillo is another strikeout victim here for Wheeler as we head to the top of the 6th. The Phillies up 2-0. Pirates baseball on SNP is presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. Paul Skeens will be facing Bryce Harper here to begin the top of the 6th inning.
The Skeens pitch count's kind of snuck up on me a little bit there. He's in the mid-80s. This could be his last inning. Bullpen's ready, or getting busy.
Harper hits this ball to center field. Mangum going back, approaching the wall, leaping up, and it's gone. Bryce Harper, the home run, his 12th of the season, and the Phillies are up 3-0.
Harper's been getting a little overshadowed by Schwarber, I think, the last couple of years, but He is still a very dangerous hitter.
That is career home run number 375 for Bryce Harper.
A dozen of them now this year.
Isaac Mattson loosening up. Well, thus far, rivalry weekend has not gone the way the Pirates would have been hoping. Friday night off to a promising start, up 6-0 in that game. Had two big leads, 8-3 going into the 7th. Couldn't hang on, and now this ball is wrapped to center field for another base hit. As Bohm, who doubled in the 4th, picks up another base hit here. Sanchez with a shutout last night, and the Pirates now working on, well, they're through
the things that
14 scoreless innings on the offensive side.
Early on this year that we've seen that we have lost games that we shouldn't have late. That the last game out on the West Coast in San Francisco,
right.
I think they had 2 or 3 times late in the game they had a 2-run lead, let it get away.
I think it was a game Giants didn't lead until they scored that last run. Never had a lead in the game.
So it's something that they need to get a hold of and address.
And then on the offensive side, Sanchez pitched the shutout yesterday. But to your point, that's going to happen, right? Most games, when you score 8 in regulation, you're in the 9 innings, you expect to win. Pitch to Marsh inside.
You know, when you score 5 runs or more in a game, you expect to win. You know, and I don't think our record is as dominant in that area as it should be, especially with the, pitching. You know, I think most people thought that would be a strength.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing is too, you just look at it within the context of this homestand. If you don't come back and win this game, you win that game Friday. Hey, you're 3-3 in the homestand. You took care of business against the Rockies. You took 1 out of 3 against the Phillies team that has just been smoking red hot, and that ball is laced into left center field. Mangum racing over to try to cut it off, slides, does so, throws it in, but it's going to be a double, and now nobody out and runners on second and third after that Marsh double.
Pretty much middle of the plate. Marsh had been a red hot hitter. You know, it just goes to, this is a cliche that you hear all the time, and you think, well, what does it really mean? But you got to win the games you're supposed to win. Mm-hmm. And when you get those big leads, you're supposed to win those. That's going to be it. Skeens is done for the afternoon.
And Mattson will come on in relief with runners on second and third and nobody out. Well, Paul Skeens' afternoon is finished. The Phillies up 3-0, but still 2 aboard here in the top of the 6th inning as Isaac Mattson comes on. The Pirates pitching change is presented by Valvoline Instant Oil Change Service. You can see, experts you can trust.
Yeah, Mattson's numbers on the year, 20 games, a lot of those coming early on. April was very busy for him. I think this is his 4th appearance here in May.
First pitch in off the plate to Garcia, who's walked and hit by a pitch in his 2 at-bats against Paul Skeens. Now 2-0. Bryce Harper has been tremendous for the Phillies. Came in with 5 RBIs in the first 2 games of this series. Homered here today. Now 3-0. Infield in. Ooh,
Yeah, hit him, didn't it?
I think it did hit him.
Second time that Garcia's been hit.
Yeah, it looked like it.
That got him.
Caught him.
I think the back of his hand. You hear the double tick.
So now the bases are loaded for Stott, the second baseman. Got lined out to left, struck out swinging his 2 at-bats against Skeens.
Oh, the bright side of that.
Yep. Throw it on to third and a snap throw. They don't
Is you now
catch
have
the lead runner there. Go ahead.
a force out at the plate instead of a tag play.
Right.
Which is a big deal when you're an infielder in on the grass trying to stop a run from scoring.
There's the 1-0, and that ball is cracked into the right center field gap, and it's going to split the gap and roll to the wall. 1 run comes in, 2nd run comes in, and the Phillies have added 2 more. Both those runs will be charged to Paul Skeens, by the way, and the Phillies have now taken a 5-0 lead.
Not a good day for Paul. He closed the book now, and now they got the same situation again. 2nd and 3rd, and nobody out.
There's the first strike Matson had thrown, and Stott, I'm sure, sitting on that, waiting for it, expecting something in the strike zone, and cracked it out into the right center field gap. Now Rio Muto up at the plate. Infield remains in. 1-0. Matson has thrown 7 pitches, 6 of them have been balls. That's the called strike there in the inside corner. 1-1. Fouled away, 1-2. This ball grounded up the middle. The runner at third will stay. Griffin over across the diamond, so they pick up that first out of the inning. Garcia took a couple of steps forward, Bob, but
yeah, they weren't playing contact or anything like that. I'm sure they told him to make sure the ball is through the infield before you go. Watch the line drive. Now
with 1 out,
right, they're probably going to go on contact.
It's Crawford, and Crawford
not going to go on contact on a pop foul.
Yep, Garcia makes, or Gonzalez makes the catch. Garcia stays at third, and now 2 outs. That sends us back to the top of the order, and Trey Turner. Turner had that RBI single in the 5th inning. Infield obviously back to normal depth here. Strike 1 to Turner. Juan Ramirez is loosening up in the Pirates bullpen.
He will most likely be next inning, you hope.
The Pirates bullpen had to cover 6 innings yesterday. Going to have to cover at least 4 here today. You have the day off tomorrow.
That's 10 innings, 2 games.
Yep. Here's the 1-1. Now 1-2. And even though there's a day off tomorrow, I mean, eventually people will talk about these innings early in a season, by, you know, that's going to affect you later in the season.
Sure. I mean, even though the bullpens are much larger, you know, more people down there than there used to be, it's still, you know, when you're having to throw 3, 4, sometimes 5 innings in games, it's going to wear you down. You know, some guys, it's not like they can't pitch.
There's a grounder to Griffin, and across the diamond he'll get Turner.
But maybe they won't pitch as effectively. You know, you gotta look at that too.
3 more added by the Phillies. They lead 5-0. Tremendous pitchers duel through 4. The Phillies have scored 2 runs in the 5th, 3 runs in the 6th to lead 5-0 on the UPMC scoreboard. Pirates baseball is presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. Henry Davis fouls one off. Bob, I started to think, you know, you get that certain time of your life where maybe you go out and mow the lawn and you take a little bit of a break, come in, get a glass of water, sit around for a while. You get back up and you're stiff, you know. Thinking maybe, you know, maybe that's about 35 years old that starts to hit you. Maybe Zach Wheeler, 35, he'll be 36 in a couple weeks. You think maybe all that sitting around watching his offense maybe stiffened up a little bit there in the dugout? Any chance of that?
I think you're wishing there a little bit.
Here's the 0-1 to Henry Davis, 0-2 now.
I just walked over to next door and it feels like I've been sitting here for 4 days.
You know what, Bob? Why don't you take the next week off, recover?
I think I will.
Okay. Here's Henry Davis fouling one back on the 0-2 pitch. So everybody here knows Bob Walk, of course, and Rob King. I'm filling in for Greg Brown, who is inducted into yet another Hall of Fame.
He's collecting them.
He's got a lot of plaques in the basement. Backhand play throw across the diamond and a nice play by Turner there gets Henry Davis.
He'll get the big one of these days.
Brownie is inducted today into the West Shore chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. So congratulations. Greg Brown, well deserved. Kind of a slick play here on the short hop by Turner across the diamond. You know, Henry's going to be running hard out of the box, but good defensive play. So 1 away here in the 6th.
Wheeler right now sitting at just 71 pitches.
Yep.
Unless we do something with the bats, he's got maybe another couple innings to go.
0-2 now on Cruz, who grounded out to first in his first at bat, struck out in the 3rd. Looking on the pitch by Wheeler. Here's the 0-2. And once again, down looking. And let's take a look at the road ahead presented by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com today. The pitching matchups for the Bucs series against the Cardinals. And you can see them there. It's Keller against Liberatore, Majinski against McGreevy, and Ashcraft against Dustin May on Thursday. That's an afternoon game. Those are the times that our coverage will begin. I expect Greg Brown back and ready to go on those trips.
Yeah, Greg will be here. He'll be there. St. Louis down by a couple of runs in the 4th inning of their ball game against the Royals, their rivalry battle of Missouri.
I-70 series. These two teams met in '85 in the World Series. Controversial play at call it. I think it was at first base in that game, in that series. Yeah. Now fouls back just gets a piece of the 2-1 pitch.
Back in the Whitey Herzog days. before La Russa.
2-1-0. This ball is cracked by Lau, and it is gone. Home run number 13 by Brandon Lau.
And then they challenge him.
Oh, it is going to be challenged. Did a fan reach over and interfere with this? Well, the fireworks going off right now. It is home run number 13 for Brandon Lau. Let's see if that stands as 13 or is an unlucky 13. And umpires are going to convene and talk this one over.
All right, let's watch this. See if we can tell.
Oh, boy.
Oh, they are definitely going to win this challenge. It's way below the yellow line.
Yep.
Nice catch, though.
Yep. Oh, that ball was hit hard and hit a long way. AHN Supermo, and this ball is just smoked by Lau.
This will be a crew chief review of a home run. Home run was called on the field.
Lau is standing outside the Pirates dugout. One more look at it. Yep, pretty clear that that was not going to get over. Good sized glove.
I'll give him a double on this, I would imagine. That was a great catch.
Yep.
Long reach.
They have the outfield glove out there. Lau's taking a good long look. Still standing outside of the dugout, not moving anywhere. But I think he's going to be moving back to second base pretty quickly here. One more look at that swing. Man, he just barrels it up, and this thing is, oh. That is in a hurry.
Well, if Clemente would have worn number 19, that'd be home run.
That's exactly right. You know, he hit that so hard that
After review, it was spectator interference. Runner goes to second base.
He hit that so hard that if it went to the padding right to where the right fielder was standing, he might have had trouble getting to second base. I mean, that ball was just scorched.
Oh, yeah. It was a line drive. Needed to get just a little bit more air underneath that. I don't know what the, I'm going to say that probably was, I'm going to guess here.
109.
I'm going to say, well, I'm thinking about the trajectory.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying it was 75 feet high.
Okay.
At its highest.
Hopefully we have some people.
They're working on it.
Getting that information to us. 1-0 to Reynolds. Reynolds trying to extend his hitting streak at a current 5 games and drive in the Buccos' first run of the game and first run in the last 2 games for the Pirates. 14 consecutive innings without scoring a run. 2 away here. We have learned that it would have been a home run in 27 ballparks. Oracle Park, Target Field, PNC Park.
Places with real high wall and right.
Yep. Reynolds grounded to the right side, and the throw over to Wheeler. The Gold Glover snatches it out of the air and touches first for the 3rd out, and it remains 5-0 Phillies. You can stream Pirates games at home or on the go with SNP 360. Just go to getsnp360.com or scan the QR code. Log in with your provider and get direct access to live games, plus all the Pittsburgh sports content you love. There's Johan Ramirez, the new pitcher.
Well, there is his numbers. Real good strikeout numbers. 30. His 26 innings. It's tough to put in play at times.
Schwarber just rifles that into the Phillies dugout. Harper on deck. Schwarber in the box. Phillies up 5-0. The 0-1 just outside. But, you know, he starts on the right side of the rubber and throws this. And that ball must look like it's breaking about 6 feet from where he's standing on the rubber to where Schwarber is in that batter's box.
Yeah, I think if you're a right-handed hitter, he's standing
right
over there.
Yeah, there's that rubber. And second time we saw Skeens going to the rosin by quite a bit. You can see he sets up all the way over on that edge. There he is. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And he struck him out. Second time Schwarber's been struck out today. Whew. So that's starting well to the right of second base. And even there where it was relatively down the middle, it's just got to be, you know, it's hard enough to hit when it's coming right at you, but that kind of angle and sweeping like that.
It's one of the reasons he gets all those strikeout numbers is he's just his ball's moving so much, and he throws pretty hard. And not like overpowering fastball, but he got a little bit better than average velocity, and then the movement he can put on a ball.
That's a great angle there. You can just see it. I mean, it looks like he's releasing it from outside of one batter's box, and it's sweeping into the strike zone.
And sometimes too, that the old term effectively wild, I think it can be applied to him. He's not so wild that he's walking a lot of guys, but he doesn't give you much to hit right down the middle.
Well, you were like that.
Oh yeah,
I
tried to throw everything right down the middle.
Here's the 1-2 to Harper, and that one's punched foul. Schwarber still shaking his head. One-two to Harper, whose home run earlier in the game was home run number 375 in his career. It was in his last at bat. Lead off in the 6th.
Nice location, the fastball up and in.
Here's the 1-2. Fouls it back. I know this happens a lot, but if you're Ramirez, that 96-mile-an-hour fastball above the zone, the one that Harper fouled off the pitch before this one, and that one, they're two perfect pitches, really, from a pitcher's perspective. It'd be a little frustrating to see a guy foul those off. It takes inside.
Yeah, I mean, the frustrating point, maybe not so much as a reliever. You're thinking more of strikeouts and stuff, but I wanted those borderline pitches to be put in play because they're probably not going to be put in play hard. The last thing I wanted was to be fouled off.
And another one.
You're just throwing more pitches.
Right.
Sometimes, at one point in my life, I used to think, the difference between the really, good pitchers and the mediocre guys is that beautiful pitch with the really good pitchers is a weak ground ball to short.
Right.
Whereas the mediocre guys, it's fouled off, and they got to throw another one now.
Well, Ramirez wins this battle against a dangerous Harper with that pitch. Another perfectly located pitch.
Swinging, nothing in the middle of the plate to hit at all. It's just, every one of them was right on the edge.
Another perfect pitch, the sinker to Bohm. Bohm 2 for 3 in this game. Scored a run in the 6th. Part of that 3-run inning that really kind of tilted this game firmly in the Phillies' favor. If it's 1-0 or 2-0, You can chip away. You can play the game differently. You can bunt. You can hit and run. You can steal a base. You can do something. You get one in and maybe
when it was
chase the starter out.
Yeah, 2-0. I mean, we could try and steal a run if you get a guy on base, steal second. You don't have to worry about trying to put 3 hits together in a row. You can use the running game. But now you need to put at least 3 together, and hopefully one of them's extra bases or a home run.
And Bohm caught looking as Ramirez strikes out the side here in the 7th. Pirates Baseball on SNP is presented by Highmark, the official health plan of the Pirates, because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. By Cohen Markets, everyone gets 10 cents off per gallon before 9 a.m., no exceptions. By your Western PA Chevy dealers, Chevrolet, the best-selling brand in Pittsburgh. And by Levin Furniture and Mattress, Pittsburgh's #1 furniture and mattress store. Oh, those Brandon Lau giveaway jerseys today. The kids enjoying getting those. Hoping for some offense here today. But earlier today we saw those kids with those jerseys taking the field with some moms because it's a special day for moms. For more on that, let's head down to Dan Potash. Danny?
Yes, it is, Rob. This is the Pirates Breast Cancer Support Game. So the Pirates and Pirates Charities are honoring members of the community affected by breast cancer, like Dara Nichols, a breast cancer survivor who threw out the ceremonial first pitch. Fans can continue to support local women affected by breast cancer by registering for the annual Pitch for Hope fundraiser on May 31st right here at PNC Park. Of course, that's in support of A Glimmer of Hope. The event features on-field experiences, a private brunch, and a ticket to the game between the Twins and Pirates that afternoon. All proceeds will benefit local women in their fight against breast cancer. And that event on the 31st is the real deal. It's very cool. The coaches come out and take part. I've had a chance to cover that in years past. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, Dan, thank you very much. And obviously great cause, and to make it fun, but behind that is obviously the great cause they're fighting for. Thanks to Dan Potash. We have Hannah Mears in the studio. We have Greg Brown getting a big award. I'm Rob King next to Bob Walk.
I wonder if Brownlee's on his way back by now. He might be listening to the game on the radio.
Yeah, being feted with a big award here. Maybe enjoying that part of it.
I don't know when the banquet was. Was it the afternoon or evening?
I'm was not privy to that information. Just asked to be here. Here I am.
There you are. Me too. Here I am.
Here's the 0-1 to Gonzalez in off the plate. Pirates have mustered just 3 hits thus far in the game. I'd like to see Gonzalez get aboard here. And does just that. Ropes a single into left field. Entered today as the 4th leading hitter in the National League with that .320 average. That'll go up a tick after that base hit. Now Spencer Horwitz, who's the author of one of the 4 hits the Pirates own to this point, up at the plate. Wheeler, by the way, cruising along 81 pitches through this 6+. Now up to 83, those first 2 pitches of this inning.
Gonzalez trying to nail down that third base spot with that gaudy batting average he's got. There's a lot of talk during spring training as who was going to get most of the playing time at third.
Here's the pitch to Horwitz. It's called a strike, 1-1. And, you know, Triolo got hurt, Bob, and there was some talk that it was going to be rotated around as we have the ABS challenge here by Horwitz. Let's see what we're going to get here. So, you know, Triolo was going to play some. Oh, it's not going to go Spencer's way.
Field is confirmed. Pittsburgh has 1 challenge remaining.
So Triolo, Nick York at the time, Gonzalez were going to split. Well, Triolo got hurt. York was, or Gonzalez was given the opportunity, seized it. He won the job. You know, and that's what you want to see. Here's the 1-1 to Horwitz. 1-2 now. And the Phillies have Jonathan Bolin, who's up and getting warmed up in their bullpen.
Yeah, there's an old saying: the players make out the lineup. They hit, they're in.
Right. They'll find a place for you.
They'll, like, even if you don't have a position, they'll like, well,
but the other
figure
thing,
it out.
we talked about we're talking about this a lot back in the studio with the addition of Lau and O'Hearn and Ozuna too, who's got at least a veteran presence waiting to catch fire. He's been better lately, but that this notion that could help out maybe Reynolds and Cruz, take a little bit of pressure off them because they're the main guys. But then how does that filter down? Does it help a Gonzalez or a Henry Davis or a Nick York or somebody along those lines as well, who's trying to get themselves established at the big league level? I don't know if that's been the cause, but it looks like just having more good guys that Don Kelly can pencil into the lineup, more consistent performers, has helped the whole lineup be more productive.
I agree. It's been, I mean, these last couple of days had not too good, but overall this season the offense has gotten off to an excellent start and has greatly improved from the last couple of years.
Right.
And it's the lineup. We used to talk about the lineup being extended or deeper, or whatever you want to say, and that's what's happened.
This young man hasn't hurt, by the way. Connor Griffin.
No, I mean he's definitely part of that story.
1 for 2 in the day.
First couple of weeks, a little slow, striking out probably a little bit more than you'd like to see. Average now, the 260s.
All right.
Got 20 RBIs, and he's been hitting mainly down toward the bottom part of the lineup, especially early on, although he's been sneaking up there a little bit higher of late. I think eventually he's definitely going to be a top half of the lineup guy somewhere. I don't know where you fit him in, but it'll be up there toward the upper half, so that he's getting an extra at bat every game.
A 2-1 count to him. The 92nd pitch by Zach Wheeler. Gonzalez at first after a leadoff single. Fouled straight back, now 2-2. And Joe Block talking about, for the first time ever, Griffin faced a pitcher a 4th time through the lineup yesterday with Sanchez. Here's the 2-2, and that is laced down the left field line. Boom, another tremendous play. Takes a hit away from Griffin and gets the lead runner, Gonzalez, out at second.
If there's not a runner on base, this is another hit. He's not going to throw Griffin out on this, I don't believe. Not from his knees that deep, but he can make that quick throw to second and try to get the force out there. That's what he did.
The plays he made on Friday night, they were, we talked about the bullpen, and certainly it didn't do the job it wanted to do, but Bohm made some tremendous plays in that game that prevented the Pirates from, maybe scoring a couple more, maybe winning that game in extra innings. That's twice that, remember the ball down the line Griffin hit the first time. That's a double. Now he legged out an infield single. That's a double if Bohm doesn't make that play. So he has been outstanding. Mangum takes the 0-2 pitch. There's Sanchez, who pitched yesterday and started the 9 consecutive scoreless innings for the Pirates. It has now reached 15 and threatening to be 16 consecutive innings without scoring a run here for the Bucs. 2 outs here. The delivery to Mangum, and Mangum pops it up into the infield. And Turner settles underneath it, and that is another scoreless frame put up by Phillies pitchers. 5-0 as we head to the 8th.
Wheeler's getting a lot of high fives and maybe a hug or two. He's probably done. He threw 98 pitches. So even though he's tossing a shutout, 4-hit shutout at that, he's most likely done. And new pitcher for the Pirates, Dennis Santana, coming on for the 21st time of the year. He has fallen out of the closer's role. Strike one over the outside part of the plate. He's for some reason, I think he's not getting nearly the swings and misses that he's used to.
It's something that just appears to be a little bit off there, doesn't it, Bob?
Yeah, he's a guy that is not really a super stuff guy, but he still used to get quite a few swings and misses on all of his pitches. He gets some chases. And I don't think he's been getting that, especially not with any regularity this year. Well, there's one right there.
Got one right there, yeah.
And strike three. That's nice to see.
Yeah.
And look at that, 95 miles an hour. That's a little step up, I think, than where he's been of late.
And 4 consecutive Phillies have been struck out by Pirates pitchers. Ramirez struck out the side in the 7th, and now.
Let's see that at bat that we just saw. That is what we've seen the last couple of years from him right there. That's what got him into that closer's role, being able to come in and get a swing and a miss, strike out a real good hitter.
First strikeout for him since April 25th.
Marsh is obviously a real good hitter.
Backs him off.
Boy, they've been inside on Garcia all day long. They've hit him twice.
Here's the 1-1.
Another swing and a miss, another fastball, 94. Now his truck just told me 93.8 has been his average.
Right.
But it's probably, for me, the last couple of weeks, it's been below that, I would think. So today he's got a little giddy up on that fastball.
Now, Bob, when you're pitching, I mean, a lot of us read the radar guns and those sort of things, but we're not analysts, we're not experts. You're not only both of those things, but a former pitcher yourself. Here's the 2-2. Second consecutive strikeout, 5th time.
I mean, how about
fifth consecutive Philly that's been
now?
Struck out.
But this is him right now. That's him.
So I guess my question for you is, do you have stretches? Did you have stretches as a pitcher where, for whatever reason, the command felt a little off, or the ability to get swing and miss, the movement was off a little bit, and what does it take? Just a tweak or something to fix it, or?
I don't think it's ever the same exact thing. It could be you're not feeling real good physically. You got something kind of wrong with you. Your elbow's barking a little bit, this or that. For me, I could tell, throwing in the game, warming up, whatever, the way the ball felt as it was coming off my fingertips.
Stott crushes this one. That is going to be over the Clemente wall and gone.
Change up.
4th home run of the year for Bryson Stott. And the Phillies have extended their lead to 6-0.
I think the feel you have of the ball coming out of your hand will tell you if everything else is right. If your mechanics are right. And if the ball doesn't feel right coming out of your hand, then you're probably not going to have the stuff you need to have, and you're not going to have the location. Now, normally I would say you want the changeup to be down and away.
Right.
And that was anything but down and away.
It looked like he cut across it.
Yeah, that was mid-thigh, inside half of the plate. For me, a right-hander to a left-hander, that's not where you want that changeup to be located.
And the way it was moving, as we see it up there, it almost looked like a hung slider. Ground ball to short, drifted across the diamond, and the Phillies add 1 on the home run and take a 6-0 lead into the bottom of the 8th. It's time for the North Star Chevrolet Buick and GMC star of the game, and it is Zach Wheeler.
Yeah, absolutely, Zach Wheeler. He was brilliant. This is how we've seen Wheeler pitch. His whole career. He does this not just to us, but to everybody. I mentioned, I think in the Open, I said he's one of the big dogs of the league, and he's been one for a long time. He's got great stuff and great command.
Bryce Harper, it is 12th home run of the year. Bryson Stott, he went deep as well with his 4th. Wheeler 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. He gives way to Jonathan Bolin, 29-year-old.
Bolin's numbers this year, so he's given up a few more runs than he would like in his 13 innings. But with just 13 innings, you throw some zeros up there, you get that ERA down quickly.
Has 5 pitches, but leads the way with what you just saw right there, the 97-mile-an-hour fastball. That's one he leans on most heavily. 0-2, and he gets Triolo. Oh, beg your pardon. That's 1-2 now. 0-2 is Triolo's plate appearances today. 1-2 pitch as he drops the curveball in there.
I thought that was going to be low, but right at the knees apparently.
And the 1-2. The Phillies have some guys in their bullpen that have really been pitching well. Here's Bolin. That Bolin an opportunity to get some work here. That's it. You get up 6-0, Bob. You have an opportunity to get some guys out there and see if you can get them right.
Mm-hmm.
Ground ball to Trey Turner across the diamond and 1 away.
Gives the pitchers an opportunity to, as they should, is really be aggressive and go after the strike zone and trust your stuff and get some confidence rolling when you can pitch in a situation like this. Obviously, you go out there, let's say it's 2-0 instead of 6-0. Now you're having to like make pitches, and you don't want to miss down the middle, the extra base hit, somebody gets on, tying runs up, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is the exact scenario. If you have somebody that maybe has had a little trouble of late, you throw them out there in a game like this and let them pitch an inning. I hope they have success.
Well, it is a cloudless sky, but I'm still looking for a silver lining here, Bob, in a cloudless sky. But any chance maybe, the Pirates have had to cover a lot of innings with their bullpen. We know the bullpen has had its struggles, but they were extremely effective yesterday. They've been very effective today. Is there any chance that even in a couple of lopsided looking losses, yesterday was certainly lopsided, this one is headed that way, that you could maybe get something positive out of it if you're one of those bullpen guys?
Yeah, you can always look and look at some things and say, well, I like this about the game. How about Santana?
Davis caught looking.
The first 2 hitters he faced. We're talking about he's not getting a lot of swings and misses. And he got plenty of swings and misses, a couple of strikeouts, threw some 95-mile-an-hour fastballs. That I like that. I think that one of the really nice silver linings for me would be Connor Griffin, the at-bats and swings and hits he got off one of the premier pitchers in baseball. That's another step forward in his progression. If you're just looking at kind of picking apart little things that happened during this ball game that are a plus for the Pirates.
Griffin 1 for 3, robbed of a double. They got an infield single by Bowman the first.
Robbed of 2 doubles.
Robbed of another in the 7th.
The last one he hit was hitting even harder. I got pretty good confidence that was going to maybe go around the boards out there a little bit.
Yep. Bohm, as we mentioned earlier, turned in some tremendous defensive plays over the course of this series. 1-1 pitch here to Oneil Cruz, 0 for 3, a ground out, 2 caught looking strikeouts. Oh man, Bohm comes up with another one, but not going to get Griffin here. Or Cruz here, I beg your pardon, as Cruz beats out the infield single. Going to be a base hit, but Bohm, he's been doing that all series. It almost looked like he stumbled a little getting up, or he might have gotten him there too.
Yeah, it's hard to throw out Cruz on this. Cruz, one of the fastest guys there is, running from the left side down that line, but he gave it his best shot.
Fifth hit of the game for the Pirates. Brandon Lau thought he'd put a run on the board for the Pirates his last time up, but again ruled properly so that a fan interfered with it just over the top of the Clemente wall into fair territory, and so it was ruled a double. We had a trivia question the other day that what was the first uniform worn by Roberto Clemente? Wore it for a few weeks before he donned the number 21. He wore number 13. That would have definitely been a home run.
Yeah, for sure.
Had he stayed with that number. It was a home run in 27 of 30 big league parks, but not PNC, unfortunately. Here's the 0-2. 1-2. Yep. 57 feet. You said 75. It was a numerical sort of dyslexia there. Oh, man, this ball is crushed by Lau. Oh, but the wind blowing in slightly may have held it up, and it's tracked down by Crawford. Hard hit, but it is the third out of the inning as we head to the ninth. And let's recap what's happened so far in the game in our dashboard report presented by your Western PA GMC dealers. And the Phillies leading the Pirates 6-0. Zach Wheeler 7 dominant innings. Paul Skeens was great through 4, but ran into some trouble in the 5th, and then started the 6th, exited the game. All 5 earned runs have been charged to Paul. Bryce Harper with a solo home run. Brandon Lau looked like he had a solo home run himself, but correctly ruled fan interference after a fan reached over the wall, Clemente wall, to snag that ball in midair. And that's where we stand, 6-0 for the Pirates, or for the Phillies, as Justin Lawrence takes the mound for the Pirates.
Just in the game, pitching against Justin. There's Justin's numbers.
Justin Lawrence's numbers, not Justin Crawford's numbers he's facing.
But he is just in the game.
Mm-hmm. Just in time, just in the game.
Just on the edge of the fastball.
I give up. I surrender. Yeah, there's.
Yeah.
How about that? Early start on our bicentennial.
From Liberty Hall?
Yeah.
No, is that? Yeah. Liberty.
Yep. Constitution Hall.
Some kind of hall.
I think it's the Liberty Bell Constitution Hall, I believe. Yep. 250 coming our way pretty soon here, July 4th. Oh, 0-2 pitch. We're talking about Ramirez. I would imagine that Lawrence, particularly for right-handed batters, would be an uncomfortable at bat. Comes from the side.
Yeah, he's from that other side of the room.
Yep. That deflected off his glove. Lau the backhander over to first. Beautiful play as they get Crawford out at first. I don't know if Lawrence deflected that, but Lau, excellent play.
I thought maybe he got a little piece of it.
Yeah, he did, for sure.
Probably got him out. Usually that messes everything up when they touch
right,
the ball.
That's right. Yep.
That is a rare occasion where I think it helped.
That ball was ticketed for up the middle and a base hit. Instead, it's a 4-3 put out. An excellent play by Lau. That ball's hit hard, but right at Mangum, and 2 quick outs. Pirates have tomorrow off before starting a road series in St. Louis on Tuesday. Mitch Keller will start that one for the Bucs against Matthew Liberatore and the Cardinals. Our coverage of that game beginning at 6:30. And I saw Mitch snap the other long losing streak for the Pirates when they were swept by the Cardinals. A 4-game losing streak came out that Friday, and slam the door, stop the losing streak. He'll have, barring a big comeback here for the Pirates, perhaps an opportunity to stop another losing streak. Two quick strikes on Schwarber now. Tanner Banks in the bullpen. Presumably he will come out to start this 9th inning. Schwarber calls time, granted time by Dexter Kelly, the home plate umpire. The 0-2 did not swing.
They almost always call their timeouts with 2 strikes. It's like it's basically automatic. You get 2 strikes on the hitter, they use their timeout right there.
Chance to regroup, perhaps.
They're trying to break the momentum that
Okay.
I think the
All
pitcher
right.
has. I don't know what they're doing. They always do it.
Did you want to keep that momentum going as a pitcher, get into a groove? Did it matter to you?
I was a pretty slow worker. I think.
Okay.
I was trying to get out of the bad mojo I had going.
You bad mojoed your way to over 100 big league wins. Pretty select company. No, eh? Wait. What are you laughing at?
Well, I don't know how select that is.
Oh, it's pretty select. There's a 3-2, and he gets Schwarber. And Schwarber strikes out for the 3rd time today. Pirates Baseball on SNP is presented by MediConnect, Medicare made simple, and by McClellan's Contracting and Roofing. If our name goes on it, we stand behind it, so you can stand in it. So 11,500 pitchers or thereabouts have pitched in a major league game. 662 have 100 or more. I call that select company, Bob.
All right,
that's select company.
Better than average.
That's less than 6%, certainly. Probably
All
check
right.
my math. I'd have to probably check my math on that.
They will, believe me.
And tied for, and so there's another 80 guys on that list you're ahead of who won fewer games than you did.
Batter
What is it,
call of a strike.
106, Bob? 106 wins for you? 105. 105.
Call on the field is confirmed. Pittsburgh is out of challenges.
Out of challenges is Brian Reynolds looking to extend the hitting streak to 6 games, facing the lefty Tanner Banks. Debuted as a 30-year-old, 34 years old. Reynolds to right center field, but Garcia drifting over to make the catch, and there's one away here in the bottom of the 9th. So between the two of us, we've won 105 major league games. Is that a good way of putting that?
Yeah, that's a good way to
Okay.
put that. Yeah.
All right.
105.
Yep. Gonzalez fouls this one back. Singled in his last at bat back in the 7th inning.
I still remember my 100th.
Do you?
Yeah, I got home and Lori almost burned the kitchen down. She had a cake with 100 candles on it.
Really?
Yeah. Surprised me. The kids were all excited about that.
Oh, that's great.
So,
yeah, that's something to be excited about.
yeah. I knew something went through the front door. I could feel the heat.
See, your family knew. So Gonzalez also flies out to Garcia, and right at that time, probably only about 500 or so pitchers had ever accomplished that, Bob. So they made a cake for you.
Yep.
Put the candles on it.
Yep.
I'm sure you remember the first one. That's a milestone, right? The first and the 100th, those are milestones.
Yeah, the first one would have been against the Cubs, I believe.
Didn't you homer against the Cubs?
Yeah, I hit my first homer against the Cubs.
First homer,
yeah.
yes. Do you also hit your last homer against the Cubs?
Yeah, isn't that weird?
It is. That is
First and last.
Interesting stuff.
Odd.
Yep. So right, if you're seeing us right here, we have 105 wins and 1 Major League homer between the two of us. Here's Horwitz, a little blooper out to third, and probably fitting the way Bohm has played defensively that he makes the final out in this game. And the Phillies slam the door in the Buccos. They win Friday night in comeback fashion, and down in that game 6-0 and then 8-3 late, and they come back and win that one and then shut the Pirates out in back-to-back games.
Well, we had our pitcher's duel today for the first half of the game.
Right.
The Phillies ended up breaking through and getting into the bullpen and then kind of winning going away there at the end. But these kind of stretches will happen here and there during the course of the season. You got to fight your way through them. Going out on the road now to St. Louis, a team that's in front of you in the standings. Very important to play well in these games and get a little revenge for the last time we saw the Cardinals.
Right.
So see how it goes. The Cardinals have got a lefty going in that game one. That'll be a little bit of a challenge. We haven't done well against the lefties this year.
Pirates dropped to 24-23 in the season and 13-13 at home. Once again, our congratulations to Greg Brown. He'll be back behind the microphone for the road trip coming up. For Bob Walk,